for the introduction. I'm really passionate about like getting to know everyone and sharing like knowledge on getting more women to work in STEM. So that's definitely one of my passions. So I wanted to do a workshop on breaking into product management. So it'll just be an hour, and my name is Sint Mo. I've been in product for 3 years now, mostly working at startups, managing web and mobile applications. And in my early career, I worked in design and development. And right now I'm working for a coupon saving platform, and we're looking to solve problems with new products and services. And here's more. And today my goal is to help you break into product management. And you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'll be sharing these slides at the end of the workshop as well. And I wanted to kick things off by doing a bit of getting to know everyone and some warm-up exercise before we dive into the content. So if you could tell me like in the chat box or unmute your name and someone in your life that you're grateful for. I'm happy to start as well. So my name is Sint Mo, and I'm very grateful for my grandfather who brought my family and I to Canada so that I could have many opportunities in life. I have to expand the chat box. Are people sharing, Farah? What do I see? How do I see that? Ah, I see it. Cool. Oh, thank you so much. Ah, Sarah's from also Atlantica. All right. So please feel free to write whenever you, oops, now that, okay. Yes, friends are very important. Angelica. Ah, yes. I don't have a sister, so I'm very jealous. All right. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really feel like we're a little bit closer now in terms of like who we're grateful for, and then mostly I'm seeing a trend of family and friends. So that's really something that we all share. And I hope you can still see my slides. So I'll move on. All right. Let me go. Okay, let's continue play. Oops. Cool. All right, so the agenda for today, I really wanted us to focus on product management fundamentals and exercise discovering your whys. You should get into product management and must-dos to stand out from the crowd. So I really wanted to tackle on why product management exists as a function in an organization, and really understand, like what they actually do. So there are so many definitions out there, but I'm just gonna try to define one that resonates with my product management experience. So obviously as companies grow, they don't really need a product manager. But at first, and then when they grow even more, product managers are hired and responsible for the development of products from concept through the end of the product life cycle. So that just means that this person comes in, takes an idea, whether it's from business, user, customer, and works with design and development to build this idea over and over again until it becomes a product. And hopefully this product serves a problem and should solve a problem in the market. And I also personally believe that the ultimate responsibility of a product manager is to deliver these products early and often. in the market. And some of the key competencies I keep seeing, and I personally also believe that product managers should have, one or more, is having business expertise, tech abilities, leadership skills, domain knowledge, communication, and customer empathy. All right, so now that we know what product managers do and why they're needed, let's see if we can become one by connecting our current experiences to the role. So I really wanted to think about what I did at college that really helped me get into product management. And I was thinking about what are some of the most important things that I did that I feel like was really impactful. And I felt like volunteering was super important for me, and I still love to volunteer. So when I actually volunteered in college, I was able to learn and work with on cool projects that I've never heard unless I actually did volunteer. And then also volunteering allowed me to develop skills in coordination, communication, and leadership. And also it helped me build my network even more, because I was meeting all types of people who I could learn from and who I could also mentor. And then that gave me the confidence to really lead projects and events. And I also love, participating in hackathons, and I remember going to many of them. And that really helped me stay curious and see what people were doing and how they were working on new ideas. And I think at hackathon, it was really important for me to learn how to build something and push out ideas from the ground in a short period of time. So I thought that was, something that I was getting used to, seeing how ideas get developed over time. And that was a great exposure at hackathons. And then also I was able to practice pitching ideas, which were something, super important. Working with new teammates, it's always a learning experience, because you never met these people, and now you're all collaborating at the same level. And of course, you are not only meeting more colleagues, future colleagues, but you can also meet potential hires and mentors, and build your network even more at hackathons. And lastly, I personally really loved expressing ideas through blogs and social media. I mean, at the time, I remember I was very not comfortable, just putting myself out there. So I remember creating fake accounts on Reddit and Quora, and that really, and by commenting on a certain topic that I was super passionate about, it really got me more comfortable sharing ideas and opinions, or even sharing a blog that I felt like this question really, resonated with how I felt, even though I didn't write anything. So that was another momentum that I got from, sharing ideas more openly. And then later on, that gave me the confidence to present my ideas in public. So those are some of the most impactful things that I did in college that really got me to kind of where I am now. And then, so because we know the experiences we currently have and can use that to leap into product management, there are a few type of product managers that you can become. And I only want to go over 3 today. Of course, there's many, many more. So feel free to read some of the links I have attached in the slide. The first, so the 3 types are the builders, the growth hackers, and the innovators. And then, so the builders, these individuals, they're there to drive the product roadmap of an existing product. So the product already exists, and they're building new experiences on top of that product. And then we have the growth hackers, and these guys are, doing everything they can to move the needle for a new metric or all, and so the metrics could include acquisition, retention, engagement. And the last type of product managers are the ones that are finding new ways to solve problems through new products and new services. And I personally also believe that the most important job is to figure out if anybody wants these new products and services. So that role is very specific for looking for that product market fit. And then these are more types that I highly recommend that you should check out. So I really want to now, like now that we know what product managers do, and then some of the current experiences that we are doing to get into that role, and the types of product managers that we just went over, it would be really, important for us to get to know ourselves a little bit more so we can identify the connection between the different types of product managers and which ones we can currently resonate to break into product management. So I want to give everybody 5 minutes to work on this. And I can start with some examples to kick it off. So if anybody has a pen and a paper, or if they want to use their tablet, feel free. But some of the questions I want you to answer, and you should do this offline as well, and that will really help you think more about why you want to get into the role, is what are your strengths? And I know that sometimes that's so hard to know, but always remember the moments when people complimented you on something, and write those down and reference them when you're doing this exercise, or you're updating your job resume, or you're going for an interview. And then also, what topics are you most passionate about? So, I mean, sometimes it's like, what keeps you up at night that you're working on that you enjoy so much, or you feel very happy and satisfied? Like, what books, what are you naturally gravitating towards? Like, what types of books, or podcasts, or blogs, or conversations with your friends? Like, what are you talking about? And this could be very high level as well as very detailed, and there's no wrong in that. And then the last thing, and I think it's also very most important, is what problems in the world do you want to solve? And that's kind of thinking from either all these functions that I listed here, the different industries, like in education, tech, legal, government, finance, healthcare, robotics, IoT, and nonprofits. So, and there's probably many, many more that I haven't written on here. So those are some of the questions that will help us kind of understand better on what type of product manager we want to become. So giving 5 minutes. So Farah, can we start the clock? Doesn't have to be exactly, but.
Yeah, do you mean like a timer, or?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to give maybe some people who want to use a chat to connect these answers. Or you can unmute yourself and speak as well. So let's see. I have to check to see if anybody's.
5-minute timer.
It's okay. Not exactly, but
okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Let's see who's, maybe I could also, let me write down. So I wanted to go at maybe share some, as I go through this exercise, some of the strengths, so you guys can be more clear on how you can make the connection between your skills. I often get complimented on organization, coordination, and creative skills. So with my creative skills, I'm always looking for new ways to solve problems. So that's been something that I'm always, I think it's a personality of mine to be very open and willing to try new things. And it's not just at work, it's also if there's a new product, I really want to know about it. I want to play around with it. I want to give you feedback. And so whenever that happens, I end up, getting more in tune with my product sense, in a way where I'm like, providing, either playing on the platform, the different types of, buttons or forms, and I end up becoming like a beta tester or being a part of a user research. And I feel like personally by doing that, I'm also exposed to what's happening out there and the trends and then the opportunities, and in the world. And that's kind of like, that really helps me do my job better in a way where I'm like thinking about what's next, or how I can connect my current product to this product and see if there's opportunities in that way. So that's kind of what the skill of creativity that I'm using to get the advantage into making my product management career successful. Oh, okay. So Adeline said strength, good listener, cooperative. Yes, that's very important. Think. Yes, you can unmute yourself, Ellen. I'm not sure if the.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. My name is Ellen, and I'm currently a junior studying at BMT University. So thank you so much for participating in this and giving us the overview and your own experience in PM, because I feel like it's really valuable to have like a woman role model in this area. So I was thinking about these questions, and then for strength, I was thinking like connecting people. I really love to get to hear people's stories and referring them to connecting them to other resources that might help them grow, and exploring how to like inspire other people, and coordination, creative thinking. I see this both as a advantage and also I guess like a flaw of mine. I think sometimes I have
Oh,
too many ideas and they're like a little bit hard to handle.
right. I mean, I think sometimes I have the same problem, and it's not bad. I think it's better to have more ideas than no idea.
Yeah.
So always be mindful and write those ideas down, write it somewhere, and when it's appropriate, you can bring it up, right?
Yeah.
Rather than actually just sharing everything, because it might not be related to the context of the
Yeah.
discussion.
Yes. So do you have any tips on like organizing like all these ideas that you have?
So you can use Trello, which
Uh-huh.
is the cards. You can like list out all your ideas, and then you can group them to certain categories. You can do it through industries, or you can do it. You can do it through go list from like categories of products that you like.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend that. And I think that's a great way for you to see like, oh, where am I actually, like, where do I have which category or which topic am I most passionate about, because that's where all the ideas are coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great way for you to figure out, which is the next question, what topics are you most passionate about. So I would
Yes.
organize it that way.
Yes. Gotcha. Um,
So
so
I actually, yeah, go ahead.
should I continue or like that's
Yeah,
good?
you can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll just like talk very briefly about it because I want to leave like time for like other people to discuss.
Okay.
Um, but I'm really interested in like the beauty and technology industry. I've been working on like a startup to connecting skincare enthusiasts as well as like experts, because we see like personally I'm like a skincare addict. I see there's so many amazing products out there, but I wanted to test on myself, but I don't have the budget to like really test everything and have different reactions. Especially with like TikTok and Instagram, they are like all like very short video forms, and some of the influencers tell like teenagers to put on acid on our face for like 7 days and it clears out your skin. I feel like that's a very bad way to influence people. So we kind of established like a platform to connect the right people with the right information, like authentic information. So that's kind of my passion. And we see a lot of like self-organized groups on like Reddit, Facebook, all these platforms of people seeking help, and there's no direct product to solve their problem. So that's what I've been working on.
Oh wow, that's so amazing. I mean, and you have really nice skin. So that really, you can be a spokesman for that brand as well, which is your own brand. I mean, that's so interesting that, you didn't, like, for me, I also wrote here that I'm really passionate also about beauty products. Like, I love Glossier,
Yes.
Decium, Curology, Lush, like, and many, many more. And, I always wonder, like, do I want to work for them, or do I want to, do I like the product, the category itself? Like, does it make me feel more confident or beautify?
Yes.
Or, so there's just moments like that where, like you just saw a problem and you decided to solve it. And then now it's like this topic, which is, part of your passion versus finding ways to break into product through these companies. So I think that's also another great story that you shared. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you.
I think we could move on now. Yes. So if there's any problems that in the world that you guys want to solve, please write them down, and keep them, and follow products or services that are actually leading that. And you never know, like, who you will meet or how the product might grow. So that's also very important to know. Yeah, like for me, I love like empowering people to do smart work. So whether that's like helping them communicate better or improving more efficiency, because I don't want anyone to do any stupid, dumb, tedious work. And also promoting the best user experience is so important for me. All right, so we can move on because we have a few more stuff to go through. Let's check. Perfect. All right. So now I wanted to analyze some of the demands for product managers in the market. And I thought the best way to do that was to look at job postings in these countries. That way we can like really figure out like how we can strategize better and stand out from the crowd. So in the US alone, product managers openings, I think as of Friday or Thursday that I pulled this data, it's 91,000 around that. And in Canada, it's only 5,000. And then in the UK, it's definitely catching up to around 13K. In India, it's around 9,500. So that just kind of gives us the impression of like, okay, like these are the demands, these are the openings, and how can we, position ourselves better, and see where, product managers are most, I guess, popular as well. So you could grow your career in certain areas. Yeah, so I think now that we know how big the numbers are and how small they are, I want to like share how you can stand out from the crowd. And the first thing is to tailor your resume for each of the job posting. So that means like, if there's keywords that are in the job posting, make sure you have it in your resume. If you're super passionate about something, like please write that, and make sure you highlight that in your CV. If there's a problem you want to solve and this company is doing that, also highlight that in your CV, because that really helps you, like stand out. There's like a very strong why you want to be in that role. So I think that really helps. Asking for job referrals. yes, it does, go a long way. So don't be shy. If there's someone, who's willing to help you or who you think could help you, or you have a connection, make sure you ask, because it's better to ask than not ask. Work on side projects. Yes, and you can do that through, even like what Ellen is doing, where she saw a problem in the market and she decided to find solutions to fit that problem. And or you can, have your own, like you can participate at hackathons if you don't really know which side projects to work on. And then there's tons of online communities now that you can join to start building your idea, or be a part of a group to work on an idea. And I also want to emphasize, standing out from the crowd means you research the company that you want to work for, you read the blogs, the social media, find like their way of describing their culture or their puns that they use in all of their writings on the webpage or in social media, and then use those in your job applications, because that way, it's kind of like you really, did your homework, and you also understand the type of people they might be. And so you want to show that you actually, tried to analyze that. And that's also very important. Trying out free trial products. So I learned that like a few years ago, where if it was a free product and I could try it before I apply for the job, I would definitely do that, because then I can see like how the product works, and I can use it and give feedback maybe during the interview, or even write that in the job application, like, oh, hey, I found a problem. I love to, talk more about it. So that's like a very good open statement as well. And that's worked, super well for me. And also, I think it also gives you an insight on like the product that you're working on. Like, do you really like it? Or, is this something you're interested in? So once you try it, you'll have a better feeling. And then also looking at reviews. So every product has a review. Find it, it's online, and look at what customers are saying. Do they like this product? Do they not like this product? What are what, and kind of like analyze that. And you can also write that in your application, so that you can be like, oh, hey, I heard so and so saying this. That's really interesting. So just even small statements like that could go a long way. Follow and learn about people who work at the company. Yes, you want to kind of position yourself better and see like how do their education and career experience and their own personal branding, like how do you fit in that? Of course, you're not comparing yourself. You're just trying to learn from these people, like, oh, what do I have to do to get to that level? And that's always very great way for you to build your skills and experience. And network. Yes, making a habit of networking is important. It's not only just to break into product, it's also just to be very successful in your career. I think I see a comment in the chat. Let me check it. Oh, yes. Oh, no worries, Joanna. Thank you for joining. I hope you can watch this and let me know if you need any help and connect me. Okay, so now I think I want to kind of move on and show you guys like the steps to network. Okay. Okay, so steps to network. So networking is building relationships. And I really want to strongly emphasize that. So that's why I crossed it out. And how do you do it? Well, the first step is to look at communities, like product communities. They're on Facebook, Slack, and LinkedIn. You can reach out, answer questions, comments. So that's a great way to kind of get yourself like exposed to connecting with that person who is either a senior PM or an aspiring PM. So that way you guys can build a stronger relationship and work together and learn from each other. I think that strategy has really worked for me. Participating in hackathons, because you'll never know, like, you'll meet your potential founder or your future colleagues. I also personally think that, you can surround yourself with like-minded people at hackathons, because certain hackathons have like a certain theme. And you're like, oh, both all passionate in education, or you're all passionate in fintech. So that's a really great way for you to kind of build your relationships with other people that have the same, interests and career aspirations. Joining events that you're interested in. Yes, that's super, I don't think I need to say anything more, but I personally even join events like at skincare events, because I still really love that. But I also join events like Women in Tech and STEM, because I love meeting like-minded people, and maybe we could connect and help each other grow our career. And then also creating blogs. So if you're really into writing, and if you're, instead of joining events and meeting people and talking publicly, if that's kind of something not your thing, you can definitely write blogs. Words could go a long way, and you can reach so many audience around the world, and you can talk about your education, career, interests, your goals in life, and you can also showcase your skills and experience, right? Oh, hey, I read about this. Here's my thoughts. And it's your own thoughts. And if somebody resonates with that, they'll reply and they'll connect with you, and you never know where it could lead to. Help someone by commenting on posts. I think that's something that I started doing, where if I know something, or if I had an experience in something, I will either comment on that post or share an article I read, so that person can really be helped, as well as connect with me. If they have further questions, they can jump on a Zoom call, and then I can really resonate with their experience, and then learn something from there as well. Developing your personal branding. Yes, that's definitely something that we should all be doing. And I think it's important for us to really, build those relationships. So, because if you're really obsessed with, fintech, or if you're really obsessed with productivity products, and you talk about that over and over again in your brand, and that becomes like a part of your brand, then you'll end up meeting people and building relationships with people who have similar interests in that topic. So that's kind of my steps on kind of building relationships, and I think it's been helpful. Of course, you can do this in any category and that you want, whatever resonates with you most. Yeah, I think let's move on to the next slide. So I wanted to showcase some templates on Reachouts, successful Reachouts. And I think you can use this to do your reach outs and see how it works for you. But I would like to go from left to right. And on the left, I met this person at this event, and he shared his experience on his product work. And I really learned something from that conversation. But I also felt like, oh wow, this is someone who I could also connect with if I found other opportunities. And I did, so I ended up pinging him about that, and it was really nice that he said that I remembered what he said, which was something that I thought that was nice for him to know, because I really felt like it was a learning experience for me. And then on the right is a mentor that I often speak to about product feedback. And and it was just kind of me saying hey, how's it going? I saw some PM openings, and I saw that you had a few connections, and this was on LinkedIn where I saw these connections, and I was wondering if I could learn more about the role, and if I could get a potential internal referral. So I made sure I asked that, and I also told him that I wanted to learn more about the role, because there were several roles and I didn't know which one resonated with my experience. So I also wanted to talk to someone there as well before I just randomly apply. So that was another strategy that I used. And he was very kind to, you know, ask me like, what particular roles are you interested in? And I shared like 3 or 4 links. And that's kind of where he helped me make the introduction with someone, and I got to learn more about that opportunity. And so those are some of the Reachouts samples that you could use, and they've kind of been really, I guess, personalized, but they're also a great way for you to connect with people that you're like looking up to, not just for roles. This is the next one, which was on Facebook. And Anya is now a friend who is like really great with running experiments. So I run a lot of experiments where before I build something, I need to know if anybody wants it, like as a like user wise, and also if this is actually going to solve a problem for our business. So I was telling her and sharing that I don't really have like a lot of people helping me run a lot of experiments. Are there ways that you're doing it? What experiments are you using? The types of experiments that you're using? Because that way I can like bounce back ideas with her. And she was really kind enough to share that she's been working, you know, at early stage startups for this many years, and that she would love to jump on a call with me to share some of the experiments that she's running. So I really learned something from her, as well as she learned something from me. And now like she's like my go-to person when it comes to running experiments, especially at this like company size that we're both in. So that was a really interesting connection, and I'm very thankful for her for responding to me. And so that's another way for you to get to know you know, like something that you're interested in that someone else is doing, or that you're trying to improve better. Yeah, I think. And then I wanted to share powerful communities. I'll be sharing the slide deck after the event. So please click on and join. And they're just really great communities for you to network and also get inspired and learn more about product management content and people's opinions, and see like, you know, where you are at and how you want to develop yourself. And there's probably many more that are coming that I have not yet listed here. And there's another person at the chat, so I'm going to check the chat window. Oh, no worries, Joanna. Thank you for coming. So, all right. So these are the powerful communities, product communities, actually also tech communities. Like Ladies Storm Hackathon is like amazing. Like they are always posting events just on hackathons, and it's like every other weekend, or like, so you're just like, there's so many opportunities to join those events from Ladies Storm Hackathon, and it's on Facebook. And then there's more resources. Because, you know, when we say, oh, you're going to build relationships and network with all these people, it's hard to know where they're coming from sometimes. So it's great to have a template for you to track all your efforts. So you can really like, you know, remember who they're coming from, or you're at an event and let's say they, you know, you remember their name, you can write it down, or the company they're from, and you can find them out later. So these templates, the networking tracker template is really great. So I highly recommend. If you're searching for a PM job, the job search tracker template is good as well. It's super organized. I really inspired to be that organized and and really strategize for my job search with that template. And the FB product management cheat sheet is so good. It's like, it just tells you like all the tips and tricks. I mean, of course, there's so many other resources out there, but I felt like this cheat sheet really summarized everything. Whether it's right or wrong, I still really appreciated that the summary was like very short and precise. And then the resume template is obviously really great as well. It's exactly what, you know, he's saying that FB is looking for. I'm not sure 100% that's true, but it's a great way to start building your PM resume template. So I would highly use that. And Dr. Nancy Lee. Dr. Nancy Lee is this director of product management from Boston, and you know, she teaches everything from tell me about yourself in product management interviews to product management resume. So I love using her YouTube channel to actually, you know, prepare my product management career like to the next level. And she, you know, she teaches great examples. And then she, if you subscribe, she also gives out referrals. So if there's like a product management role that's out there, and Nancy Lee will actually like send you emails that you can actually apply for through that referral link. So that way you don't really even need to ask. So I thought that was very clever that she was providing for us. So I love her. And then Alex is the new PMing and I guess leadership role model that I'm following these days. And he works at Google, and he does a lot of like resume workshops on the weekend. And then he also teaches you how, you know, you can work at big tech companies like Google. So if you really, you know, inspire to work at Google and all those bigger tech companies, you should definitely check his channel out. And then Nista is just like another, I guess you could say, go-getter, and I really enjoy her, you know, coaching in terms of like, she does events on purpose work, and it's kind of like if you take her workshop, you'll end up finding your purpose in your PM career. So I thought that was really interesting and something that I've been doing. Based on even like having interest and passion for a certain product that I'm working for, I still find it more meaningful to dive deeper into like, why am I in this career? You know, how can I make this, you know, more purposeful and feel satisfied and happy and energized? And Nista is really great with that, and you should definitely follow her as well. And I want to now stop and ask if there's any questions that the audience might have. And you can unmute yourself and speak.
Have you ever experienced any like struggles first breaking into the product manager like realm?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's very competitive. So like I said, you probably have to really think about why you want to be in there, because that would be the first, you know, hard question that you have to break into. Of course, and you can tell like, oh, I love this I love this product, I love this industry, I see these problems, I want to help you solve them. Like those are some of the great ways to break in. So understanding why you want to be in the role is also, that would be, I guess, the first struggle. I find that I either didn't nail it down properly and really think it through. So that's why that exercise was like really, you know, something I wish I did when I was trying to break in, because then I can list out all the skills, try to map it. But most importantly, like, what do I actually like? Because there's so many product managers out there, and there's so many job postings that we just saw, but which one actually resonates with, you know, my interests and what can make me feel energized and satisfied and happy solving these problems every day. So so some of the struggles were, you know, not really knowing exactly what type of product manager I wanted to be, and also what I was interested in. And and also the skills and experience that I had in college, I wasn't able to relate it exactly to the role, where I felt like, oh wow, like I actually did leadership skills, and here's, you know, all these events that I managed and I coordinated and executed, and this is the result of these events, right? And that's what exactly, you know, something that I should have mapped so I could position myself better, right? So that was a very great reflect that I think you should have. So that way you can relate your past experiences to that current role.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Oh, there's a chat coming in. What's the difference between a product manager and a manager in general? So Sarah, a product manager manages all these products for the company, and a manager, I guess if it's an operational manager, she might be working on managing like the processes of the organization. That would be another, I guess, example that I could use. So our technical manager manages the technical team. Maybe she, you know, helps the developers grow their skills in terms of better coders, or in terms of like better problem solvers, or the way they, you know, write their documentation. So those are some of the differences, because the product manager would be mostly managing and developing these products for the organization. What has been your favorite moment in your journey? I think my favorite moment would be whenever, you know, a customer or a user gets to use my product and they feel very satisfied and fulfilled, like that it actually helped them do their job that they were looking for. And I think that's kind of what's keeping me going as working in this product management career. For someone who's a project manager, transitioning to well, project management is a skill set that you need in product management, because some organizations don't have project managers. So the question is it easy? I mean, it definitely gives the advantage for the candidate to break into product management. So I think, again, that's where you have to kind of look at your skills that you have and see how this product management, how you can make relate those skills to that product management experience. So it could be easy, but you have to probably think about it a bit more and position yourself better. The difference between product manager and UX designer. So the UX designer is designing, you know, the feel and look of these user interfaces, whereas a product manager is developing and managing all these products. So that either comes, so that's either like, you can think about the product manager working in different, with marketing on, hey, what do we want to talk about this product? Like how do you want to advertise that? Or what does it do? And then marketing would be like, oh, actually we can write it this way. Versus a UX designer wouldn't be working with that function to carve out that plan for go-to-market. Also, product manager working with sales, like how do you want to price this product? A UX designer would not be doing that. So last question is, what type of product manager is hot? Also further define. So the day-to-day is very tricky. It depends on the organization. So maybe I'll share my day-to-day. But what type of product manager is hot? Well, I mean, I think it really depends on what you like and who you want to become. Do you like to be more technical? Do you like working with the engineering team? Or do you like working in the middle of everyone, working with sales, UX, marketing? There's also AI product managers. They're, you know, either they have a background in data science, or they are, you know, have experience building AI products. So maybe they are AI engineers in the past. So, or they just have very high interest in AI topics. So those are some of the ways. It really depends on what you mean by hot. So the day-to-day, I think that's kind of tricky. But in this role, I guess my day-to-day is, doing a lot of market research. So every day, I check my Slack, and then I jump on a meeting with the team to figure out what they did yesterday, what they're doing now, and what they'll do if they have any problems. And then based on that, I look to see who's working on what. And then if they're stuck with anything, I might ping them. Or if it's a new week and we just started our sprint, I might just end up working on the next thing that's we might be doing. So whether that's doing research or talking to some customers or looking at some feedback about the product that the teams have given me. So whether that's from marketing or sales or customer success. And then based on that, I kind of see which one is the most important thing for us to work on. And then that kind of just do little pieces of that every day, and especially a certain topic. It very depends on the day, the week that we're actually working on. So it changes, because sometimes I might not be doing research. I might just be planning for a launch where I'm organizing what's going to happen, who do I need to talk to, are they going to have this, blog post up about this product that we're launching in 2 weeks? Because they should be. So those moments, those are some of the day-to-day that are different from the research days. There's any other questions? Yes, Alexa, yes.
Hi, sorry, I just had a couple that were a little bit too long to type out. I'm sorry if you already answered this in the beginning, because I arrived a little bit late. But some questions I have is it sounds like product managing is a pretty diverse thing, because you're managing all the different teams. What kinds of questions do you ask about your product so you can make it better? What kind of questions would you ask about your product?
So I don't really, ask. I look to see where people have commented. So whether that's through the app reviews, or there's tickets, bug tickets that are coming in, that people are raising, hey, I can't see the screen, or this button doesn't work, or why can't you have, why can't I select 5 people instead of 1 person? Those are some of the problems that I probably would be no one would be telling me. I'd just be looking for them, and those are research things that I probably that I spend most of my day on, just so that I'm top of okay, if there's something that we're working on, we should let this customer know, so that they're expecting that, hey, someone actually read my comment, they're going to do something about it, and then they'll tell me when. So those are another interaction that I'm doing to find out who's telling me what problems they're having with my product.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
I have one more, but
okay, go ahead.
Unless anybody else has a question, they can go for me. Okay. You a couple slides ago, you mentioned something about mapping out your skills. So what kind of skills particularly would help define who you are, I guess? And what kind of platforms do you use to manage?
To manage what?
To manage your team, to look at your research kind of thing.
Well, it depends. Well, I use Jira and Confluence, which is where I write all of my research stuff or my analysis. And then to manage the team, you can use Jira that I'm using, or you can use simply Trello. if you want to start a project or a product with a friend, you can definitely have different teams. Like you can have like design and then list out all the cards that are responsible for the work that design is doing or development. And then you can do that as well. And marketing and social media and all of those categories. And that will really help you understand how you can manage your team better because you can see everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, someone asked, also me too, how do you spell those?
Spell what?
Trello and Jira.
Oh, yes. I'll send you guys link. Trello. And then Jira is Jira. And then you also talked about mapping up your skills.
Yeah.
So, like, are you having a hard time finding that?
I guess personally for me, I'm a little bit, I think I'm understanding mostly what you guys do, which sounds like research, and then presenting that to the company, so the team, so they can fix on it. And if you say you came from like a technical background, because you were talking about AI product manager, which is a very specific branch, how would, like, what soft skills would you look to improve so you can improve being a better product manager, say coming from like a different industry, like tech?
Right. I mean, like, I guess you could like self-learn about, that industry. Communication, leadership, like those are never like, they never go away. I think they're also very part, and coordination and planning and organization and creativity and problem solving. Like we're all problem solvers. So that is something, that is very transferable. Yeah, so I really think those are, and then learning about AI if you're interested, right? Because that's like maybe that's like one last thing you need to do because you have all the other packages, right? So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Also, in terms of lifestyle, do you think this is a very demanding job? Because it sounds like you need to manage different branches, and I would imagine if there's like a customer success issue and then they text you like during like 9 p.m. or something, do you need to respond right away as the product manager, or it's more like a 9 to 5 job?
It really depends where you work. At the startup level, you're obviously going to do more because you're limited to resources. But you can always set your boundaries, and I think you should, so that you don't burn out and you can really, keep going in your career. I don't think that you should need to answer that success report at 9 p.m., right? Maybe that's like something you can check when you wake up the next morning, because it might not be something that's even super important. It might just be a customer complaining, right? About something that they either don't know how to use, that we already have it. So maybe that's just like a training thing that we have to do rather than actually, feeling like, oh no, it's another bug, right? So, but those are some of the things you can look into when you wake up in the morning and see how urgent it is, right? And then respond accordingly. And I will definitely spell the things for you guys out on the chat. So maybe I might even have to link it here on my slide deck. But yeah, thank you so much for all the questions. It really does help me think. Obviously, there's a lot of things that you're working on a day-to-day, so that's definitely hard for me to summarize. It really depends on what products are coming out or where we are in the life cycle of a product. Because we could be at the very beginning and then we're like doing tons of research. We're talking to all these users, testing out these prototypes that we might build. Or we're like in the middle where we're, building, and then we get feedback, based on whatever ideas are coming in. Or when we're launching something where we're not, at the state where we need to do any more research, but like for that launch, but we're planning for that launch, and we're coordinating with everybody on the team to make sure that launch goes well. So it depends on where we are in the product life cycle to have a very okay. So next. Oh, I just want to, oh, this is the last slide. Yay. Okay. If there's any more questions, please let me know. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to help you guys break into product management, and you know, if you are obsessed with working for Disney or all these other amazing brands and companies and products, make sure you know, follow their social media and their articles, and do, you know, and be inspired to have a goal to one day work there and make those connections early, and that really will help you go a long way. So I wanted to say thank you, Farah, for giving me the platform to share. I'm just going to send in the chat